One of the statements that affected more most in his work was when one of his daughters said, talking to us is like dealing with iPhone of 2 generations before. So that put in place what is the challenge here. So I thought that from this work that's beautiful done, Mario, you could have brought Greta Thunberg to talk to us, but she's not here. Then you brought Leo, which is the representation of it. And I'll tell you, he's going to lie us because he has a whole bunch of things he has done in his life, 3 companies, 1,000 of voyage trips around the world, and he says he's only 29. That's a lie. Leo, please, você quer falar? Okay.
Some discussion later, right? Huh? No, I got to ask Fernando.
You can go from there.
Is that through satellite?
I think I know how to use it. I think. So, first of all, good afternoon for you all. That's a huge pleasure to be here in Oslo, Norway, just to talk about a little bit of what we have done and how we can bridge that build between like a young startup and a solid companies together in the communication, and how can you change the agri business in Brazil through communication. So I'm here as a chairperson from Space Farm. That's a Brazilian company invested by the Brazilian National Confederation. But as it's my first time talk with you all in a form of lecture, allow me to introduce myself. So I studied space engineer at the University of Brasilia, and I also did a study in Georgetown University on innovation, entrepreneurship, and how we can create a new potential. Since I started my graduation, I've been involved in many projects. So I've been part of ISAC, I've been the leader of the Junior Enterprise and Space, and I also have been the manager for Latin America in partnership in the Space Generation Advisory Council. That's an institution linked to the United Nations that work toward put the voice of the youth towards the space sector. My professional life, so the start that money started to pour in my bank account. I started at the Brazilian Space Agency, working in the innovation sector. So we create a lot of new things for the Brazilian Space Agency. So the aerospace catalog of industry. So we catalog almost all the industry and the supply chain for the space sector. And after that, I was eager to earn more money, so I went to the financial sector, work at Morgan Stanley, like start running 3 times more what I get in the Brazilian Space Agency. But at the bank, I just realized that you can earn a lot of money. That's cool. You can travel, you can do a lot of stuff. But when you have a purpose in your life, it's way better. So that's why I decided to give a step back, earn a little bit less, a little bit like way less than a little bit, and founded the first ID Space. That's a company that allows students of the K-12 levels and also university to build a space mission and launch the satellites that they built inside the classroom, then out to space to operate all the logistics of that. And also we just think in the future, we're gonna have a satellite in the space, what you can do. And then you create Space Farm, that's a company that's invested by the Brazilian National Confederation of Agribusiness and the cattle. And with that, that's a little bit of my trajectory. But now let's talk about, in Brazil, you know that agriculture and agribusiness is technology. is very popular, so you're using everywhere. Is everything and everywhere. So all the Brazilians know how to say those three things. But right now, agriculture in Brazil is also linked to deforestation and also wildfires. So unfortunately, we create those links. And how you come back to say, okay, agro is an important thing. And I believe that the keys is on the successions of the farmers. Right now, we are passing through a moment in the Brazilian agribusiness where most of our big farmers is passing the succession. So the sons start to lead the business, and the fathers need to pass the knowledge to them. And there is a lot of companies that's not Brazilian companies, but we see Bayer, Bunge, and other companies trying to teach them how they're gonna do the succession. So if we do not take control of the succession of our own land, how can you have control of the communication that we need between our producer and our society? And I believe on the Steve Jobs promise that technology moves the world. So as I was saying about the using the iPhone, I would say sometimes I believe that the old generation, the younger generation, when I talk with an intern of my company that's just 20 years old, I feel that they see me like an iPhone with the buttons. Not like the past iPhone, but the iPhone with the buttons. Because in 9 years, it's a huge mindset. I was traveling with an intern of the company, and he searched on the things, and okay, how do you find out that? Okay, I'm looking on the TikTok. I asked her, okay, can you check if the company is on the event? And let me check. He went on the Instagram to see if there is any post on that about being in the event. Instead of look at the map of the event, how would it be, and how the old generation also you should be. So we are talking about a generation that's working on technology. And I believe that we need to face two kinds of communication. There is the formal communication structures. That's what I do at the Space Farm, building ground sensor that can measure the soil and also other information about the soil. Through the communication on the satellite, because when you're talking about places with a huge range, we don't have access to every point in communication. And with that, we can create the farmer reports. And by that, you can reduce the use of pesticide. It's everything that's going to be discussed all the day, but we try to do that through the data, because if we don't have the data, we cannot have information. If you don't have information, you cannot have the communication. That's the base of the company. But I also believe that you also we as an organization, and I put myself right now as part of the institution, we need to think in a cycle of succession and advisory. Because I don't believe that when we start the succession, the person that's going to believe in his position, he has, I believe, the most important position in the world. That's the advisor board. Because on the advisor board, those person can say the right words that can change the way that you think. Once we start the succession with passing moving the people that's left the position for the advisor position, we need to start to include new techs. And include new techs means that new technology means that we're gonna do more with less, because the technology is here to empower the way that you build the bridge. And after that, we start to collect the data and create information on that, monitoring on that. That's link what Andrea told us, that once you have the data collection and the monitoring, we can start to have plans and building new solutions. Demonstrate new KPI, and then we start the process again, because it's a circle. And we live this circle every time in our life. I believe that's that, and I believe that investing in youth right now is the seed that can have to have a sustainability in the agriculture business. And I invite you to be in contact with me. Thank you so much for your time.